Good morning! Today we build a giant granary with an elevator. Good morning and welcome back to MorningCraft. So a few good days of rain has enabled the people of the Vale to produce a bunch of crops. And their herd of sheep grows by the day. But they're going to need a place to collect and store all of their food. And so we're going to build a giant granary atop of a silo that's been dug into the mountain. And you can see me here building a platform for our granary to sit upon. This granary is also going to have a huge elevator, which is going to be pretty useful for visitors to the tavern next door. But first, let's check in with the story.
A mage from Mornington, sent by Queen Solara. We must explore these caves now. Nigel, lead us to your discovery, and Harold, you're in charge.
Let us depart now.
Good morning, and welcome to MorningCraft. Today we're going to be optimizing grain production and storage.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to keep some continuity.
Fair enough.
So we're back to the build and we're building out our platform. I made sure to make the platform 17 blocks by 17 blocks and then began to work on a silo with a diameter of 15 blocks. The platform sits snugly around the silo and provides a bunch of structure to the build on top. But we also want an elevator and a crane reaching out from the side of the silo. And so I built a small 5x5 platform for this to sit upon. And then I got to work on the roof of the granary. This is probably my biggest build in Thaldrim so far, but it's nothing compared to the cathedral you're about to see in the story.
Avarend, I had you transported all this way, and the information you have for me is this.
Oh, kind, glorious priest, please accept my statistics and measurements. They are all I could gather.
Your voice alone makes a great psychological weapon, but perhaps you can still be of use. Take all the grain.
But they'll starve.
Exactly.
So with the shape of the silo and the granary both coming together, I began to put in a few sort of log pillars to hold up the building and the elevator. And with these pillars coming together, it was time to get back to work on the actual structure of the building. You can see I've put in a second floor there, and so I had to come back round and finish it with a roof. And having seen the finished product, this might be one of my favourite builds yet. If you're enjoying the video, why not drop a like, subscribe, or share with a friend? So with the basic frame of the granary complete, it was time to come back to the silo and place a bunch of stone down to level this into the mountainside. You can really see here the intersecting circles and squares that make up this build. And I felt the log supports were a little bit too spindly, so I came across and added some extras, as well as a platform for the elevator. After a long night at the tavern, you'd probably fall off of that platform, but this elevator looks pretty cool. You can see the rough shape of it here, although there's still a bunch of work to do. I put in some staircases at the bottom of the elevator, and this took ages to dig out, but I did find a little bit of copper, so perhaps it was worth it. I feel like copper, with the most recent update, is really becoming a building material that could be used. But you can see here the finished elevator, but if you want to see the crane that lifts up the platform, well, you're going to have to enjoy this story segment.
Iridin, plot a course to the outskirts of Eldros, standard flyby. We do not want to irritate them, only make them aware of our presence. Standard protocol applies. If we see anything that would bother them, we strike it. We want them to see us as allies, not foes. Departure within the hour.
And here it is, our crane. This thing really can take the weight of anything we want to load into the granary. And if you're working the night shift, you'll be loading tavern enjoyers back down into the Vale. If you want to get caught up on the MorningCraft story, I'm going to be releasing a mega compilation of all the story segments on Thursday. Check out this awesome silo. It's hard to spot, but the lanterns wind down in a diagonal pattern. And I built this beautiful avenue that leads up to the granary. This is also perfectly placed to get goods into the marketplace. And it's quite a scenic walk to the church or the tavern. So remember to stay around to the end of the video to see the daily quote, and let me know in the comments below exactly what you think of our new granary. And a huge shout out to the Desolator, who suggested building a silo, which I've incorporated into this build. So there we have it, another Monday morning and another foray into the world of MorningCraft. Now that weird task that you don't really want to do, but it's only going to take 5 minutes, but you've been putting it off, go and do it. I'm going to do mine. See you in a minute.